Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about if you should own a business or if you should own a franchise. Now, before we get into the video, as always, make sure to hit that like button. And if this video adds value to your life at all, make sure to subscribe. I do make new videos just like this one every single week. Alright, let's jump right into the video. So guys, to start this video off, I'm just going to ask a question. What exactly is a franchise? So basically, a franchise is when someone goes off and starts a business, and this business becomes so insanely successful that they want to open up a bunch more locations. Now, obviously, if it's just one person or even a couple doing it, they can only do so much. So this is when they open up a franchise. Now, basically, all this means is that they sell off the rights to own their business. So their business was super successful. They know that it'll be super successful, maybe the next city over, the next state over, but they can't run that store the next city over, the next state over. So they'll sell the rights to somebody who can or who maybe lives over there, and that person just pays them a royalty of all their sales that they make. There are so many franchises, guys. Just some examples, some really popular ones, places like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Starbucks. You guys have all heard of these places. These all started as just little businesses, just mom and pop shops. Someone just had a great idea for something and wanted to make it into a business, and it was just so successful that now they are everywhere. Obviously, they're not owned by the same people who started the idea in the first place, but those people do still get royalties from every single Starbucks, McDonald's, Taco Bell, whatever it may be that you see. So guys, let's go down the franchise route. So you want to go and buy a franchise, and that would make you now a franchisee. We'll use McDonald's as an example because I think that is probably the biggest franchise in the world. So let's say you just go and you buy some McDonald's. Now, what does that look like? What are the pros of doing that versus opening up your own business, and what are the cons, and kind of which one's better for your situation? So obviously, with McDonald's being one of the biggest names in the world, when it comes to marketing, you kind of have that side covered. You don't really have to worry much about marketing or setting up a sign on the side of the road saying, "Come check out my restaurant," because everybody already knows what you're about. So that is definitely one of the positives. For the most part, as long as you have a good location and people can find you easy and know where you are, then you'll probably have pretty good business. Now, obviously, there's other things like good customer service and other things like that, but when it comes to the marketing side, it's all kind of covered by just the fact that everybody knows what McDonald's is. Another pro to being a franchisee and owning a franchise is that you don't have to come up with this business idea on your own and right off the bat. Just a random idea that you thought of, but you don't know if it's going to succeed or fail. Well, with owning a franchise, it's way more likely to succeed because it's been proven over and over and over again. For example, if you started your own burger joint, your own burger shop, you'd have to come up with a theme of these burgers. What makes them special versus McDonald's? Or why is someone going to go eat at your restaurant versus go eat at Five Guys? Or go eat at a restaurant with actual sit-down burgers? What makes your burger special? As well as what makes your restaurant special. Once you have all these things picked out, the theme, the food, what makes you stand out, then there's still the risk of you've never actually tested this theory. You actually don't know how the public will receive this. So it's still kind of a hit or miss, even if you come up with this great idea. But with a franchise, like I said, it isn't really as much of a hit or miss because it has been proven so many times. If you want to own your own business, but you can't think of what you want to do, or you can't think of the theme, or whatever it may be, then a franchise might be a great start for you. Another pro of owning a franchise is you will get a ton of business assistance. So even if you have no previous business experience, you've never owned a business, you really have no idea, but you just really kind of want to jump into it, then it is okay because, like the same example of McDonald's, they will throw so much money and time into teaching you and helping you learn the fundamentals of business and how to be a successful business owner. Places like, McDonald's, Starbucks, or these really big chains, they have access to extremely helpful, really good resources. Not to mention, like I said before, they know what succeeds and they know what fails. So it's kind of like a cookie cutter kind of instruction manual of do this and you'll succeed. Plus, these people don't want you to fail because with your restaurant being open, they get a royalty for every sale that you make. So you're just their investment. So they really are going to put a lot of time and effort into making sure you know what you're doing and you succeed. Because if you succeed, then they succeed. Now, while this all seems great and amazing, there are also several cons to owning a franchise as well. One of the biggest cons about owning a franchise is all of the rules and regulations that you have to follow. Yes, you can open up and run your specific location, but you have to do everything, set up everything exactly the way that the franchisor tells you. If you have a new idea or you want to do a special promotion in your restaurant, or even you want to have your employees wear silly uniforms because you think it's a really good idea, you're not allowed to. Even though it's your business, you have to do what the franchisor tells you. Even if you want to add something on the menu because you think it's going to be a great hit and sell really well, or you want to take something off, you can't. You just simply don't have that much control over the kind of the business side of what goes on in the in and outs of your business. Another con to owning a franchise is the startup cost. The startup cost is insane. So just to keep using McDonald's as the example, just to own a McDonald's, just to buy the rights to owning a McDonald's is about $45,000. That's not starting up anything. That is just giving them money so that you have the right to do business in their name. To actually put up your McDonald's and build it and to get everything going, inventory, employees, whatever you would need to build that McDonald's costs about $2 million. Now this is a ton of money and most people don't just have this sitting around. Another con to owning a franchise is that you will always have to give a portion, a percent of all your gross sales to the franchisor. Even if you've owned it for 50 years or now your kids own it or your grandkids own it, doesn't matter. Even if you bought it a really, really long time ago, they are still paying those royalties to the franchisor, which I guess, makes sense. They have to make money too, and that is part of the plan, part of the business plan. But, if you had your own business, that is one of the pros, that you will never have to give any of your profits to anyone else. Now, obviously, this makes owning a business sound amazing and great. You don't have to spend $2 million for your startup costs. You don't have to pay royalties for the rest of your life for all your gross sales. And you can do whatever you want. If you want to do something new with your location, you can. If you want to add some new food, you can. There's definitely a few cons with owning your own business though as well. The failure rate for a startup business in 2019 was around 90%. This number is absolutely insane and honestly kind of frightening. To put all your blood, sweat, and tears, all your time and talents, all your effort into starting this, your little baby up, and to only have around a 10% chance of that little, creation succeeding and blossoming and turning into something greater is very intimidating and definitely very frightening. While if you own your own franchise, the numbers are definitely a little bit different. The number of failure rates of franchises, and this obviously depends on what franchise you go with, but it's around 40%. So that means you have around 60% chance of success after putting all your blood, sweat, and tears into this little business that you're creating. Now, if you want to go with owning your own business, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. And please don't let the 10% to 90% numbers scare you. You just have to make sure that you're in the 10% category. Make sure that your location's good. Do your research on the business. This might be a great idea to you and you might really, really like it, but how would the public take it? Maybe it has a really, really, really small kind of audience that would really even be interested in that business idea. And location is key. Don't go selling snow cones in the middle of Idaho in the middle of the winter. That doesn't really make sense. If you want to start up your own business, you 100% can, and you 100% can be successful. It's just you have to make sure that you do your research, really learn what makes a successful business. And also, for honestly either franchise or business, be ready and willing to work hard. Now, on the other hand, if you just really want to own a business and you don't care what you do and you don't care how it operates or anything, you just really want to be a business owner and you don't have any idea what exactly you want to do, you just want to get out there and get a business, and maybe a franchise is a really good option for you. Alright guys, so that was whether a franchise or a business is right for you. If you enjoyed that video at all or added value to your life at all, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, I do make new videos just like this one every single week. But have a great day guys, and see you next week.